We're back on Bearded Topics. Third topic of the night.
3. Lucky number 3.
This is lucky number 3. And this is a topic I've been wanting to bring up. And now that we're breaking the ice on it, I feel like you guys are going to hear topics like this from us a lot more. We are going into the news. We are going to do a news topic.
It's going to get
And
crazy.
we are going balls deep first drive. We are starting with the government shutdown. Boom. All right.
Which one?
Agreed. This is the second government shutdown in 3 months. 3 weeks.
What's
Sorry,
weeks?
not
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
3 weeks.
Which?
So, the first one, the government was shut down for what, 3 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
something about like that.
They figured out a spending plan, an extension, if you will, for them to get it back going again, get the military being paid, get all of our government officials making some money. The second time, which was a couple days ago, it only shut down for 2 hours,
2 or 3 hours.
and it was all because of Rand Paul. Anyone who hasn't watched the news,
I don't completely agree with the way they do stuff. If the
hell
voting
no.
the voting is 140 to 70, it shouldn't matter one person's vote. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not.
But it's like, what are you going to do with that one vote? It's not going to help you on either side.
And I don't. It doesn't make sense to me why the Senate needed 100% vote. Why? I mean, if one person's vote, if one person doesn't want this to happen, who fucking cares?
I thought it was
Rand
always
Paul,
majority
suck
vote.
it. I mean, that's all there is to it.
I feel like on any other
the only
occasion-
reason he shut down the government and stopped the extension that they had was because he felt like we need to have budget caps and we need to stop so much spending because he feels like we just spend just as long as it pleases both sides,
Well,
no matter the cost.
We also are adding another trillion to our debt. That's what he was saying.
Yep.
Within the next 2 years, we're going to tack on another $1 trillion in debt.
Yeah, he was talking about how he was in charge of watching and monitoring Obama's $1 trillion deficit. And now Democrats and Republicans are both going right back into the same thing of another $1 trillion deficit going to come up in the next two years. And I'm not talking about $1 trillion that we already have and it's going to continue to be $1 trillion. I'm saying we're going to add another $1 trillion on top of the $1 trillion we already own. That's what Rand Paul is saying. This bill, this spending bill that they're talking about, it is a $400 billion spending plan. And all of us know, $400 billion in the government, it ain't going to go very far.
It's going to be used up by next year.
Before
my next birthday, it'll be used.
And I know how annoyed everyone is with Nancy Pelosi, but the woman means good, and she obviously is a very intelligent woman, and the Dreamers, the whole immigration part, it's nowhere in this new it's nowhere in this new spending bill that's not even being talked about. So, I mean, we're at again. No one wants to work with anyone. Nothing's getting done. There's government shutdowns happening, and the solutions they're coming up with to fix this thing that they've created is just going to continue to be extension spending plans because no one can figure anything out and work together.
We need a new Reagan.
We need something. Trump promised that he was going to sign the bill. I guarantee if he promised to do it, it's already signed.
Well, he already signed it. That's what ended it.
Yeah.
That's what ended the government shutdown, was Trump signing it.
So,
which is
the government is not
back
shut
on.
down.
It's not shut down anymore.
We're back on.
It was back on as of like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, we're back on as long as our $400 billion spending plan allows us to be on.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be too worried. This has happened multiple times. It happened in the 90s. It happened with Ronald Reagan. The government shuts down. The government shuts down a couple times. It just happens. People need to reevaluate their end result.
And especially when people all they do is argue. Back and forth. And one person wants more than the other one, and then that other person is always like, no. And it just goes back and forth. But even then, the voting was way over for the bill to pass. One vote wouldn't have counted no matter what. It was over by, it was like...
But anyone will tell you,
54 votes.
What they came up with is BS. No party is happy. It just kind of, like I said, it helped please both sides enough. That's politics for you, though. And I guess, what can you do? No one wants to work with each other. So, and who knows? There's talk about our president getting a divorce while he's in the office, so that's not cool either.
Well, I mean, he has a immigrant wife that he's trying to ban immigrants. It's like
it's very true.
It's kind of weird.
It's very true. I've heard it multiple times that the immigration plan he's trying to pass would deport his own wife. I've heard it multiple times.
And that's probably why she's like, fuck you, huh?
Oh yeah, and all the that porn star allegations, all that coming out. I bet she's real happy with him. The State of the Union address, his wife not riding with him to the event was the first time that's ever happened, I'm pretty sure. In all of the years that there's ever been a president.
That
his first lady didn't ride with him to the event.
Not good.
And that was coming right after the porn star allegations. Stormy Daniels is her name. We'll get off the politics a little bit, though.
That fucking name.
Yeah.
I know a few back home.
Daniels?
No, Stormy.
Oh.
It's that name. Crazy.
Yep. Crazy name. So, we're going to get off politics a little bit and go back to the flu. It is a big problem right now. They said something like 80% of the children and elderly that are getting the H1N2, which is the worst case of the flu that you can get, are dying.
There's no vaccine. It takes 6 months plus just to create the vaccine for it, and not all the time it works.
And they haven't even created it yet.
Nope. So, we're behind already.
And
we're dying.
The reason people are dying is because the vaccine for the flu is for the H1N1 virus that everyone was talking about a couple years ago. And it has mutated into its worst form, and that's the common flu right now. And it caught everyone off guard. It caught doctors and scientists off guard. So
they thought it was just a stomach flu.
The CDC is rushing to try and figure it out. And probably not good on the CDC to be shut down while they're trying to deal with a flu epidemic.
Completely agree. It's definitely going to slow it down.
Yeah. Stall progress.
Yeah.
What do you think?
In which we don't need any more stall progress with people dying.
The flu's getting bad, man.
I think I had part of it because it was right before Christmas, around that time when I got sick, and I was out for like 3 days. And I was just laying in bed in pain, like my whole body hurt. It was just aches everywhere.
Screw that.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with that.
I almost went to the hospital because it hurt so bad, but I just took a handful of ibuprofen and just manned up.
I read somewhere that if people weren't allowed vaccines and all the medicine ran out, we would all die from the easiest things such as the common cold.
Oh yeah, that's what killed most people back in the 1700s. Was just
what
the common
if
cold.
the flu and the cold keep mutating faster than we can produce vaccines?
Well, have you ever played that one? Have you ever played that game? It is. I can't think of the name of the game. I just had it in my head. Robert plays it. It has to deal with viruses, and you make your own virus, and you mutate it, and you send it all over the world, and you try to keep the CDC from stopping you. And it's just like constant mutations from it, and it just gets worse and worse. I'll have to something 101. I can't remember. I have to show you that game.
Absolutely.
'Cause it's pretty crazy. It's kind of the opposite that you want. Like that we want it cured, but in the game you don't want it cured. But same principles. It kind of shows you like how fast
something can spread.
Something can spread.
Yep. Absolutely.
On a major scale, especially when it's involved with animals and if it becomes airborne
and kids. Something as easy as going to the park. I took my child to the park yesterday.
Yep, someone could coughing on the slides or something.
Something just that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And to hear that it's such a high percentage of people that are dying from the flu, oh man, it's scary.
Makes you not want to take your kid out.
It makes you not want to go out at all.
Yep.
We're going to kind of go back to politics. The Koreans, the North Koreans, they have kind of calmed down. They have had talks with South Korea over the Olympics, and I'm pretty sure it was strictly over the Olympics, about them joining the Olympics. And there has been some serious tension between North Korea and America, and no one really seems to care at all. Everybody thinks Kim Jong-un is just a liar.
Oh no.
And he's incompetent of
The only thing is
everything.
With nuclear, let's go into the nuclear side of this. The only problem with nuclear bombing is why do it? Because if someone were to say nuke Kansas, right in the middle of the United States,
Right in the middle.
you're not going to be able to use I don't know, within like 2,000-mile radius.
A lot.
Almost all the United States. You won't be able to use pretty much United States for over 1,000 years. What's the point in that?
It'll be terrible.
There's no reason for someone to nuke another country, I feel like, because why do it? You're not going to be able to use any of their resources. You're not going to be able to use any of their land. Everyone's going to either die or mutate and then die. And there's no winners because it's going to destroy our atmosphere and further it potentially kill ocean wildlife because as soon as it gets saturated into the ground, into the water, into rivers, streams,
Everything mutates.
it's all gonna
Radiation is
come in
everything.
together, just like
Yep.
the nuclear plant in China that's still, I mean, is it Japan?
No, it's Russia. It's
Is that
Chernobyl.
no? I'm talking about the one that's still leaking right now.
Oh, I don't know.
It's in the one in China that blew up or whatever that had the meltdown.
I think so, yeah.
It's still leaking. It's been leaking. It hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
And
On that, I mean, and China is preparing their military and everything because
I feel like we have more of a chance to get invaded than nuked.
the articles I've been reading about China is they're preparing for America. They're not preparing for North Korea. They're not preparing for anyone else. They're preparing for America. And it's because we're breaking our ties with them. We don't want, or not we, our leader doesn't want them to